Peace, peace, peace. You already know what it is. It's the chemist. I wanted to speak to you all. I wanted to first give you gratitude for the support that you've been giving this channel. So far, you know that it is a private channel, so if you're getting this link, it's because you're someone who I've been building with, or maybe you've been building with someone I've been building with. No matter the reason that you're here, I just want you to know that you're valued. And I don't want to speak over anybody's head. Like, that's, I got an eyelash in here. That's the biggest thing for me, is avoiding speaking over anyone's head. Yeah, I gotta forgive me. I just came from outside. It is hot. And so I'm realizing that a lot of the context that we're giving is sort of being missed and or lost in translation by someone who's not as familiar with technology as we are. So I want to take this moment and use this video to put things into perspective, right? And really edutain you to a great deal. And so the first thing that I'd like for you to comprehend is what's really being done on this level by technology right now. Right? So when we think of AI, a lot of people think of, large learning models, ChatGPT, Claude, etc. But many of us don't realize that AI is very, very vast. And in fact, a lot of this stuff has been happening under our nose as far as the developments of AI, because quite frankly, I'm sure that these companies can sort of read the pulse from social media and media in general and realize that more people will be resisting what is being built right now if they comprehended it. And that's not to scare you, right? It's actually to empower you, because you have way more power than you realize, and you'll see with where we're going here. Now, when it comes to AI, there are large learning models, there are agentic models or agents, agentic commerce. There's all different types of models. You got RAGs, you got all different types of models. But for the purposes of this conversation, we're going to focus on what's called an embedding model. An embedding model. EMBEDDING. Why is that important? Because though it has great applications, and though it can be used to really solve a lot of problems, for the purposes of the culture, for the purposes of intellectual property and name, image, and likeness, this could very well be a technology that is responsible for vulturing all of the culture. What do I mean by that? Well, an embedding model is a model that takes text, audio, and video and converts it into what's called a vector, which is a string of different numbers. Just think of a few different numbers that the computer can now comprehend and mimic. It allows the computer to comprehend and mimic whatever was in that text, audio, or video in a way that gives the computer the ability to draw conclusions and create context and really understand, right, the emotional nuances and the different parts of communication that only a so-called human can understand. Why is that important? Because 2020 on, there was a big push for you to come on social media and go live. There was a big push for you to come on Clubhouse and share all of your knowledge, mind you, in tech. I keep telling y'all, if you read and research patents and research papers in tech, the stuff that you see has already been built 10, 15 years prior. Okay? And it's introduced to the public in phases. It's trickled. So please believe me, if you read the research and you read the patents, they were planning this. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just a fact. Okay? It's just how it works. You don't want to just throw something out there. So they were taking all of the information that you uploaded on the Twitter Talks or X Talks, Clubhouse and Instagram Live, TikTok Live, Facebook Live, and they were feeding it into their models through a technique known as embedding. And they were duplicating you. They were replicating you. You train the AI model. And I'm about to prove it to you. I want to show you what they say about the embedding model, and you tell me what you think. Okay, so we're going to read this together. An embedding model is an AI algorithm that converts unstructured data like text, images, or audio into arrays of numbers called vectors. What is an array? An array is a list. An array is a group. So this algorithm takes all of your text, all of your images, and all of your audio and translates it so that the computer can comprehend it. It says it captures the underlying meaning and context of the data. How? It's a computer. Because you trained it. That's how. That's how. In this mathematical space, remember, algorithm, mathematical space, because that's all that these computers can produce is algorithms. They're just mimicking you. When you stop giving them your intellectual property, where are they going to get it from? Okay. In this mathematical space, items with similar meanings are positioned closely together. Items with similar meanings are positioned closely together. Right? Association? Enabling machines to understand relationships and perform semantic search. Those are big words for saying that we're putting everything you said and did into this algorithm and making sure that the computer can recognize it so that it can mimic you. Now that's the embedding model. But I like looking up the etymology of things so that we can truly comprehend what's being said here. Now remember, those arrays of numbers are called what? Vectors. So the computer takes, the AI algorithm, I should say, takes what you've said or done, translates it into something it can comprehend called a vector. And when you think about your energy, because when you say or do something, you're giving your energy out, right? You're giving your energy to that thing you're saying or doing. Just a fact, this is not woo-woo. They have scientific studies to prove that when you say something, when you release something out of your body, it casts energy out into the atmosphere. So no woo-woo stuff, okay? Vector, a noun. It says quantity having magnitude and direction, 1846. Earlier, line joining a fixed point and a variable point. We learned that in algebra, right? 1704. Then it says from Latin vector, one who carries or conveys. Carrier, also one who rides. Agent noun from past participle stem of vehire, carry, convey. Now, what did we just say? Energy. You're expelling energy. When you spoke into those clubhouse rooms and those Twitter talks and those lives, right? So this algorithm is meant to carry your energy to the computer, to the AI model. No conspiracy here, folks. This is just how the tech works. And it's why it's important that you comprehend how the tech works, because this is an AI model. And what is an AI model? It's a software program trained on vast amounts of data. To do what? To recognize patterns, make predictions, or generate new content. You taught these models. It's okay. I did too. I was on live. I was on Clubhouse. I was on Twitter Talks. We fed these models. And this is enough for us to comprehend how, why, and where the culture is the currency. So now that we're going into an age where data is dollars, and we know that the culture is the currency, it's time to take control over our data, over our dollars. That's why they call it a data bank. A memory bank. Because data is dollars and the culture is the currency. We're not playing anymore. Your IP is your asset. You worried about a house and a car and all of that? You can get that. You can get that. You start with what you have inside of you. When you call all this stuff frou-frou, when we're talking about everything you need is inside of you. Everything you need is inside of you. Okay, well, if that's too spiritual for you, let's take it down to logic. Let's take it down to the very basics. If you have something in between your ears that you can use to create, then that means that you are divine. It is your time, and that's not just something that we say that rhymes. I'm the chemist. Welcome aboard. Peace.